Oh, it was mainly the Peter Taylor, or Mark Taylor should be in the team, and we all thought that, we just thought that Mark Taylor was going to get picked before we got over. Then Peter Taylor turned up, then Greg Matthews said, well, hang on, there's two off spinners, and well, he's going to be 12th man. Then Greg was made 12th man, and there was just so many different things were happening. We've already been beaten 2-0, and we won the toss, and Greg Ritchie happened to have sacrificial lamb. He had to open the batting. He didn't have an opener, and got a nick down leg side. I remember was given not out of Steve Randall, and went on to make a good 120 on the first day. Then Peter Taylor batted really well with me the second day for a slow period of time. Then Merv helped me out, and we ended up making 184. I did. So it was my first Test century on home soil, which is a big thing for me.
Here's Gladstone Small.
Brilliantly taken. Appeal for a catch down the leg side. The Englishman can't believe it. Not out, says umpire Randall. Brilliantly caught down the leg side by Richards. Was it bat? Was it pad? Umpire Randall says pad.
Well, Jack Richards was in no doubt. It looked as though it came off the pad. And so it did, off the top of the pad. No question about that. Unless it happened that there were two nicks, one off the edge and one off the pad.
Jones slashes it. Embry gets a touch. Thick edge. They kept Jones quiet. And he almost paid the penalty. Certainly went for that. Embry got his hand to it. Jones shakes his head. One of the few mistakes by Embry in the cordon.
That's a bit of line. Very attacking shot from Jones there. Embry, who's pulled off a couple of good catches this summer. It's too far to his right. Great catches win matches. Certainly a chance, but down it goes.
Well, that's beautifully played. Dean Jones whipping that one away behind square on the leg stump. That one pitched just outside leg stump, or perhaps on leg stump. A little bit of an outswinger, and what a lovely shot from Dean Jones.
When he gets them right, he looks a player of world class, Dean Jones. And that one was beautifully turned off his legs into those wide open spaces. That backward square leg.
Both of them the bowler. Shy at the stumps, and he would have been out by miles. Well, Gatting was a little bit casual there. I don't think that he realised how far out of his ground Dean Jones was. All he had to do was hit, and Dean Jones had given it up. In fact, it was Gower who came along, and have a look at this, how far out of his ground he is as he lets it go.
Gower very quick across the ground, but he's got a problem with that right shoulder. And he had plenty more time, in fact, to take aim and try and hit the base of the stumps. Jones really misjudging that one.
And Philippe Edmonds gets his first chance of the day. Just short of the boundary. Pretty well hit, that one. It's a long boundary out there towards the hill, and it only bounced once before it went into the fence.
Border, one of the few players in the world that really enjoys going over the top on the offside. Plenty of vacant grass out there. Pinch hit, that one's beautifully struck.
Been waiting for that. The bounce in this pitch has been very even today. Jones has got to the stage where he can trust what's happening out there.
Beautiful shot by Dean Jones, picking that ball up very early, and as I was just saying, both of them not quite with his usual zest. Dean Jones having plenty of time to get in position and pull that ball away for four.
Embry to bowl to Jones. There it is, he's got it. Embry won't be pleased at that, but Jones will be. The ball is still racing away down there to third man. 3 to Dean Jones, a century for Australia in Australia. Good effort. He's played well right through this series and in the one-dayers. A very fine performance from Dean Jones. That was a splendid batting performance. Thoroughly deserved honour for a very conscientious player.
I got a 94, I think, against the Poms at Adelaide, and I got out hooking, so I was very careful to make sure that I got 100 in Sydney. But I remember I was in the 90s and we lost 3 wickets with the second new ball. Zura, Wellham got out, Stevie Waugh got out, and that took my mind off about making hundreds. And but I finished off in the last over. I think I hit Dilly on the first day for a couple of big fours off the last over and saying, look, I'm here. And I had a pretty good season up to then anyway, making hundreds in the one-dayers, and I think I've got 500 runs in the series against the Poms anyway, so it was a nice way to finish off. Richard Hadley, I learnt more off him than any